What's happening, guys? This is a different kind of video today. I've been having a lot of conversations with a few people close to me and a few traders close to me, and obviously if you follow me on Instagram you would have seen the progression that I've had with trading over the past few weeks, months, where I've gone from making 15, 20k a month to making 20k a week, for example. Okay, last week we had 29,100. The week before that was 19,200. And a lot of people asking me what I'm doing different, what changed, how are you now all of a sudden making all this money? And so I thought I'd address that because I think this is going to be a really helpful video and a mindset change for you guys that enabled me to be able to get to where I am now and only to push on further. So firstly, what I want to do is just explain what I was doing originally and why it wasn't working for me and what led me to have this mindset change, which inevitably did actually work out for the best and is working out for the best. So originally, what I was doing, my mindset with losing money was very, very poor, okay? And what I mean by that is I couldn't accept a loss. I could never accept a loss. So whenever I would lose money, it would always end up being something that would lead into bigger and worse things, okay? As shown you in my previous video, my biggest profit and biggest loss, that went on for so long. You know, a smallest little trade that would mess me up, whether it be a loss of £50, £100, £500, whatever it was, even though I had a really good green week or building all up to that, my mindset was I could not take losses. It used to really, really annoy me. I don't know why that is. Whereas if I would make a £500 gain or a £100 gain, a £50 gain, wouldn't really bother me. Now that mindset went on for so long, like I would take it personally, I would get really, really angry inside. And I know some of you guys can relate to that as well. And that went on for so long and it was detrimental to my trading because I would have such a good week, such a good month, and all the time, every time, right at the last hurdle, I would always mess it up because I would have one loss and that loss would mess up everything that I'd done previously. All the good work was undone with lack of judgment and just some craziness from my point, okay? That went on for so long. And what happened is that I had to have a really, really serious reality check and say, what am I doing now? You know, what do I want to do moving forward? And I can't keep this up because I'm going to have no money left because I was just throwing good money after bad. And it was constantly the case. All of a sudden I had a mindset change. You know, I read a good book, which is the Trading in the Zone. It talks about that in the book where you're constantly at that point where you're right on the cusp of getting it and then you end up letting yourself down. It talks about that in the first chapter of this book. Straight away that really, really resonated with me and what was happening with my trading. So what I started to do is, as I've explained before, I cut the emotion out of the trade. I would literally breathe slowly, taking big breaths out and just relax. Place the trade. If it goes wrong, I set my stop loss in and I'd walk away from the trade. I'd literally shut down the computer. I've explained this before. And by doing that, that really helped me and enabled me to take the emotion out of the trade because I'm quite an emotional guy and I can very easily lose it when trading, and this is something I have to battle with every single day, even now, to stop myself from revenge trading and over trading because all of the big losses come from that. We all know that. You know, if you look back on your P&L, all of your big losses come from when you revenge trade or you've done something silly which is not part of your strategy. So I just started to adapt this new mindset, and over time, gradually, that week, which was all green, which usually would have been a red on a Friday, which would wipe that out, that no longer started to happen. I'd have a green week, another green week, another green week, and another green week, and then you have that compound snowball effect where it all starts to click and everything starts, the wheels go in motion, and eventually you're snowballing and it becomes so big that you're already on like a really big roll and you're on a 2-month, 3-month winning streak or whatever it is, okay? That can happen very, very quickly. A lot of people get disheartened by that and they think that trading is a short game. It really isn't. You know, you really need to have a longer mindset on this. You need to think of the long game and not the short game. Now for me, moving forward, what I've done is where I started to have them really good winning streaks of months going on, I thought to myself, okay, look, I'm happy making 15, 20k a month or 10k a month, whatever it would be, but is this really where I'm going to be trading, or do I want to go balls to the wall, all or nothing? Now, anyone that knows me personally, the latter, all or nothing, is me in a nutshell. You know, I've never done anything less than what it should be. You know, mediocre is for cowards. That's what I believe, okay? So what I then done is I loaded up some more money into my account. My account was already at 6 figures. I then put more money into my account and really went for it. Because the way I see it, okay, is for me, if I have a strategy that 85 to 95% of the time is coming off and working, why would I not go all in on that? You know, this is where you have to have a harsh reality check in yourself and you think, is what I'm doing right now actually making me money? And is what I'm doing right now, could I do that with £1 million account, or could I do this with only £1,000 account because I might lose it? You know, you almost got to think like, if someone said to you, every time you walk into a betting shop, 85 to 95% of the time, you're gonna come out and make money, would you just walk in there with £10? Or would you walk in there with a lot and everything you had? Now this comes back to the old adage is life begins outside of your comfort zone, and I can't stress how important and how true that is. Because for me, if you're trading sort of part-time, you know, you can do that, that's fine, that's great. But if you have a plan B, it distracts you from plan A. And for me, it only really started to really click when I put everything into this, and I made this my one and only form of income, and I went all for it. I went balls to the wall. I had no other choice but to be successful at trading. And for me, and I say this a lot, is you have to get committed and you have to believe in yourself that you're going to be able to do this. Because this is a subconscious thing. You know, if you read Psycho Cybernetics, you'll understand what I mean. A book I recommended for you guys to read. If you know you have an escape route, then subconsciously, without you realizing it, you will act accordingly and you won't go all for it. You know, there's an old saying about burn the boats. You know, I can't remember who it was, I think it might have been Julius Caesar. When he landed on islands to take over the territory, he would tell his soldiers to burn the boats. So they have no escape route. So imagine that going into battle. That's what you've got to be like every day going into battle. There's no escape route for me here. I can't mess up. I have to be able to do this properly. Otherwise, I'm in a serious bad position. Imagine that mindset, burn your boats. When you're in battle, you've got no other choice but to succeed here. That's the sort of mindset you should have with trading. And one thing I would say, okay, I saw this on an Instagram story recently, someone mentioning about why is someone doing this and why is someone doing this, earnings wise. Why is someone making £5,000 trading? Why is someone else making £10,000 trading? Focus on yourself, okay? Don't focus on anything else. Focus on yourself. You are on your own journey. So if you see me making £10,000 a trade or £1,000 a trade and you're already making 50, don't worry about that because you will get there eventually. Focus on what you're doing and only you. There's a guy that you may all be familiar with, you probably know who I'm talking about, who when he trades, he makes big numbers. In the back of my mind, you want to be number one, you want to be the best, okay? But this will affect you negatively because you see someone running a trade and they make £1,500, let's say, or £2,000 because they have a big account. Then you try and do that with a smaller account and you're running a trade much longer than you should be just because you're trying to keep up with that individual. That won't work, and it will never work until you have your account balance at that kind of levels. Does that make sense? Yeah. You don't want to overrun a trade because you're trying to compete with someone else because it could be detrimental to what you're doing. Okay, so focus on your own lane. You're in your own lane. You're running your own race. And you're the only one that's going to do that, okay? No one else is going to do anything for you. No one's going to change anything. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink it. So only you are responsible for your journey, nobody else. You must understand that. So you've got to have that sink or swim attitude with this. You know, a lot of people will say be conservative and whatever else. If you want to do that, that's fine, but you're always only going to get them conservative figures. I'm a young guy, I've got big dreams, big aspirations. I'm not here to be conservative. You know, I want everything. I want to become a millionaire very quickly, and I'm on the right path to that. Then I want to be a hectomillionaire. Then I want to be hundreds of millions. That's the sort of mindset that I have with this. And you've got to be thinking big. You know, there's a book, 10X Rule. I lost the cover for it, but the 10X Rule by Grant Cardone, and it talks about you know, being mediocre and just plodding along through life, then you've got what you could do potentially so much more. You know, when you think about the effort that you're actually putting in right now to trading, you could do so much more. Moving forward, what I'm doing now is I'm going all in. You know, I really am going all in. I'm trading big size. I'm going all for it. And I'm making sure that the chance that I have with the trading and the strategy that I have that I know is successful, I'm gonna make work for me. I'm giving myself no other options. I'm giving myself no way out. I'm making sure that this works for me. Little recap, get used to handling losses. You have to get used to handling losses, okay? Number 2, go all in. Become a committed person, become committed with this. Go for it. Don't sit about waiting and you know, if I get this amount of money, then I'll start doing it. Or if I get this amount of money, I'll quit my job. Don't do that. Go all in. If you genuinely believe in your ability and your strategy behind what you're doing, and the same with me, if I genuinely believe in my strategy, what I'm doing, there'd be no reason why you don't do that, okay? And number 3, focus on yourself. Don't worry about what other people are doing. Don't worry that he's making £10,000 a day and you're only making £50 a day. You will get there eventually. The most important thing is that you're consistent, understand your strategy, and you know that if you could turn a £50 account to a £100 account, you could turn a £50,000 account to a £100,000 account, okay? So look, it's a little bit of a different video today. Really has been playing on my mind is that because a lot of people have been talking to me and asking me what I've been doing differently, and you know, have I changed anything or whatever else. The truth is I haven't changed anything. I just accept the fact that I have to take losses. All I've done was scale up, and that is it. I scaled up because I knew that I could make £5,000, £10,000, £15,000 a month consistently. So if I had another 50,000, 100,000 in the account, I know that I can make 20,000, 50,000, whatever a month consistently because I believe in my strategy, okay? So start believing in yourselves with trading, focus on yourself, do what you've got to do, and let's just get rich. Let's get rich, and let's not be one of those 70% traders that come in, try it, they walk away from me, you know what, trading's not for me. But really, it was your own fault why you didn't succeed, okay? So listen, guys, I'm gonna leave it there. I hope that helps. A bit more of a different video, as I said. I've got some juicy content coming out next week. There's a lot of things going on as well. If you are following my Instagram stories, you know what I'm talking about. My Instagram is LockStockTom. A lot of exciting things coming up in the next few weeks. I'm very excited. I want to take you on the journey with me. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you very much.